What is up, Pitt fans? Thank you so much for tuning in to Inside the Panthers on YouTube. My name is Steven Thompson, coming at you with another Inside Pitt practice report. We just had our first and last conversation with Pat Narduzzi for the week. It's a shortened week with Boston College on deck, and the Panthers are getting ready for a midweek contest against the Eagles, who are kind of come out of nowhere to be both bowl eligible and, having watched them a couple of times, just playing pretty good. It's a pretty decent football team, but Panthers get them on a short week after a brutal loss to Syracuse. We talked extensively about that on Saturday night. You can go check out my recording of the live show we did. We had some good questions and some good commenters in there as well. So hope you'll give that a look if you want to relive that game. On this episode, we're going to move ahead a little bit. We're kind of embracing the short week as well and thinking about what comes next for the Pitt Panthers. So kind of the two biggest things to come out of Coach Narduzzi's press conference today. The first being that there's no news. The biggest news is that there's no news on the quarterback situation. He refused to name a starting quarterback after saying on Saturday that they'd have to look at the tape, review things, and see if Christian Bayer is going to be their guy looking forward to these final two games at the end of the season. Narduzzi was a little playful with it, said he might not decide until Thursday night or in the locker room pregame or right up until kickoff. Who knows, is what he said. That was a direct quote. I suppose it doesn't matter much. I think he's got an idea of who's starting, but just doesn't really want to share it. I think it's possible to do that without making it seem like you have no say in who's playing quarterback and no idea what's going on. I mean, he could just say, yeah, we know who we're starting, but I just don't want to say it. Messing around with us a little bit. And like I said, I suppose it doesn't matter very much, but that's the deal. Don't know if Nate Yarnell or Christian Bayer is going to start. Bayer did not look very good against Syracuse. He had about a quarter where I thought he was really playing well, and then he comes in the second half and commits, I believe, 4 turnovers, two interceptions, and no, he only committed 3. Had a fumble, 2 interceptions, fumble, 2 interceptions, and then Rodney Hammond had a fumble as well. But Nate Yarnell comes in, doesn't really look that much better. I mean, Yarnell's been kind of the mop-up guy for them at certain points this year. But I've said it. Maybe it's time to give Yarnell a look just to see what you have going down the rest of the season. But Pat Narduzzi said it today as well that he's not going to throw young guys into the mix just for the sake of getting young guys into the mix. He wants to know that these guys are capable of helping them win, and they're still trying to win. So he's not going to make any exceptions for young guys just because of where they are in the season. At least that's what he's saying publicly. But we'll see. Like Narduzzi said, we'll see Thursday night who gets the nod and who will be under center against the Eagles. The other big point that I want to talk about was Narduzzi was asked again. He was asked this on Thursday before he left for New York City to take on Syracuse, but he's asked again today about whether he's considered making coaching changes, assistant coaching changes mid-season. And Narduzzi was pretty adamant that he did not. Put it very plainly. Said that he never considered making coaching changes during the season, said he evaluates the performance of the entire program daily, but at no point during those evaluations did he think assistant coaching changes were necessary. I guess neither of these points I'm bringing up to you are huge news. You might be a little disappointed. You might have turned off this video already, but I might encourage you to stick around a little bit longer because I'm pointing them out to you for a reason. And that reason is that I feel like we're just spinning our tires a little bit. And I want you all to watch this team and take an interest in them because it's good for business, first of all. But also, this is kind of my life now. I write about and talk about this team no matter people are watching or not. And I kind of want some company for it. But, man, am I struggling to come up with reasons for you to really care about how this team does over these last 2 games. They're not going to play any young guys to get a look at the future. Like I said, they're not adjusting and fixing problems that have been constants all year. And they're not bringing in new coaches to try and address those problems. I mean, it seems like the Panthers are just kind of running out the clock on a pretty miserable season while trying to maintain some public face that they're still trying to win. And at the same time, they're not really making any adjustments from a plan that hasn't worked so far this year. So quite honestly, I don't really know what you can expect here. And I don't know what you can expect to see from them moving down the stretch of the season. I think you're going to see a lot of the same stuff, even if, Nate Yarnell gets his shot. And even then, I don't think it's reasonable to expect him to be a difference maker in an offense that's been bad under 2 different quarterbacks already with 3 different running backs. And 8 different starting offensive lines. I mean, it's just like we're spinning our tires. Nothing new is happening. We haven't seen a development, good or bad, either way. We've just seen the same team lose in different form and fashion over the course of the year. So, to be honest, I kind of get it if you want to tune out of football for the rest of the year. I think there are some good things here. There's some things to grab onto, but like I said, if you keep seeing the same stuff over and over again, I can't blame you if you want to move on to basketball season. And here I am talking football anyway, and I'll still be talking football through the end of the year and probably beyond. But I also have you covered on the basketball side of things. And so that's where I kind of want to close out today's video on a little bit more of a positive note. Basically, as I wrap up this video, I'll be headed up to the Pete basically right away to go cover Pitt and Florida Gulf Coast at the Pete. A really intriguing matchup, probably the best mid-major team Pitt's going to play all year during their non-conference schedule. The Eagles took Indiana down to the wire in their opener and then blew out NAIA school. I believe that's JUCO in game number 2. They're ranked 137th in KenPom with the number 111 most efficient offense in America. They shoot threes at the 5th highest rate in Division One and make them at the 73rd highest rate in Division One. This is just a plainly good team. Like, I'm not even gonna dance around it. This is a team that can absolutely give Power 5 teams a scare like they did to Indiana, but then also, they were in position to win that game against Indiana and probably should have, but just didn't finish it off, quite frankly. But the guards are really going to challenge Pitt both offensively and defensively. They're going to extend your team defense with their ability to shoot the three, and then they're going to stress individual defensive skills off of that. They're gonna drive, they're going to pump fake, they're going to move the ball pretty efficiently to get those open looks and everything. Defense was something that Blake Henson talked about following the win over Binghamton as individual defense in particular as something that he and a couple other players need to work on. They needed to be better about keeping their men in front and keeping their shot blockers on the back line. Guillermo Diaz-Graham, Federico, even Will Jefferson, Zach Austin. They need to help those guys out by more, not putting them in bad situations, having to rotate over and help to block shots. They need to be able to stay in front of their men a little bit better on the perimeter. So this is going to be a good challenge for them in this game to see if they have improved on that and if they've made any progress. And then on the other end, speaking about the guards specifically, you've got 4 upperclassmen as their top guards that are almost certainly going to push Pitt's younger group. They're going to be physical with them. They're going to try to get in their heads a little bit. They're going to try to use that gap in experience against Pitt's young guys. So it's another intriguing, part of this game to watch. It's a game that's going to be played almost entirely in the backcourts. And Pitt's guards, especially those 2 young ones, Bub and Jalen Lowe, are really going to have to stand up and play some good games for Pitt to be able to pull off this win and pull away. They're going to have an advantage in size, but this team knows how to, Florida Gulf Coast, that is, knows how to work around size disadvantages. Indiana's a super long team with a ton of height, and they were able to survive that. So, Pitt's not going to be able to lean as much on their advantage in athleticism and length as they have been in these first 2 games. So a good opponent and a good measuring stick for Pitt, especially on the defensive end, as they look forward to the start of 5 straight all against high major competition starting next week with the trip to Brooklyn. So with that, I'm headed out of here. Thanks so much for tuning into another Inside Pitt practice report. We got a fully loaded week, not just this basketball game tonight, but we got a football game on Thursday, another basketball game Friday. And then we're looking forward to the real meat of the basketball schedule and the season finale of the football team. So make sure to stay tuned with us, like I said, for some more inside analysis of all those events. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@InsideThePanthers. I'll be doing another live stream after the basketball game tonight from the Pete, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And then follow all the reporting from Pitt practices in every game at InsideThePanthers.com. Appreciate you all tuning in to another Inside Pitt post-game report. My name is Stephen Thompson, and I'll see you next time, whether that's at the Pete for the live stream or another practice report later this week. Until then, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.